Welcome to Brian Kitchen, COMAIR's Executive Manager, Sales and Marketing, and he's here to talk about the resumption of flights from September 1. Tell us about the demand you're seeing, and that's from corporate and leisure.
So, Sarah, it's demand's been stronger than it has been since the beginning of the year. Traditionally, we would measure, September is when we start getting good volumes. So, the winter season, particularly in Cape Town, is this long, cold season, and there's not really that much demand. But, we feel like the market gets invigorated from September, and they want to travel and they want to get out there. And so September historically has always been a very good month for us. Our revenue management systems obviously rely on historical data, and that's been turned on its head in the last 2 years with what's happened with COVID and demand, etc. But some of this is on gut feel, and me being a sales and marketing guy, I'm saying full steam ahead. Demand is looking quite strong. We have indication that the corporates are traveling again. Leisure demand is strong. And what's really encouraging is the vaccine process is picking up a bit of momentum. I'm very, very impressed with the 18 to 35-year-olds that have gone and taken this by storm. That is our customer base. The 35 to 50-year-olds are traditionally more corporate and the government travelers, and they seem to have done their part too. This vaccine hesitancy is a problem for us. We are adamant, and we've placed it on record. We support the fact that vaccine is going to regenerate or reinvigorate tourism and reinvigorate travel. And we'd like to send a message, if we want our industry and our sector to recover, go get vaccinated. It's the right thing to do.
Okay, jabs for tourism. What about airfares? Is there a supply and demand scenario at play? What do you predict from September? And you've also mentioned some new branded fares.
Yes, so we anticipate that airfares will be ticking up. I read an example the other day. If you think about how airline pricing has just not kept up with inflation. If you look at a loaf of bread and what that would have cost you, 10, 15 years ago, the inflationary increase on a loaf of bread is at about 150%. But the airfare you pay is still exactly the same as you would have 10, 15 years ago. So I think there is pressure to increase margins and to make sure that the prices remain steady. The last thing we'd want to do is enter into a price war. And as our competitors have said on record, it is very much supply and demand driven. And with the uptick of demand, we anticipate that those lower buckets or the fare classes will fill up, and the prices will remain steady, and that's good for our industry. We need to have a base price, so we need the market to accept that airfares. You're not going to get to Cape Town all the time for 400 Rand. A more reasonable price would be probably triple that. So I don't anticipate prices coming down. In fact, they may tick up slightly based on the flights being fuller.
Okay, and COMAIR's approach to distribution. We've seen FlySafair adding a new OTA model. Are you signing up? What is your view on other airlines hosting inventory of competitor carriers?
It's not really that new. If you think that Kalula.com, our website, we've hosted BA content on there for many years, and it's a channel that does very well for BA. But of course, that is keeping our business internal. We manage both airlines, so we can price and manage accordingly. We debated internally a couple of years ago whether we would be interested in putting other carriers onto our website, because Kalula.com is a well-known website, and at one point it was the most traded website in South Africa. We pioneered this online trading thing 20 years ago. But we want to maintain the integrity of our site, and I think there's two things. User experience is obviously very important, and that's why we want to keep it clean and maintain our own product integrity. And also the other debate we had was we don't necessarily want to be a competitor to our OTA suppliers and preferred partners. So I think that is a fine balance between selling your own product and selling various others. The market is only so big, and everybody has their place. And then the last thing that I thought of is that it's probably quite difficult if you're pricing a competitor on the same route at a similar time, and you need a price advantage there for your own product to sell first. So I think that is something that our competitors would have to overcome. It's an interesting challenge, and it's not something that I think we would pursue, at this point in time. we're here to sell our own products, so we're here to sell them as well as we can. And we want to maintain the integrity of our website.
Okay, keeping direct channels separate.
Correct.
Tell us then about your plans for Kalula Holidays. Are there plans to grow the packaged holidays side of your business? Is this the time for that?
Yes, it is. I think it's the perfect time for it. We've spent, while we've been on the ground in the last couple of months, we've done a lot of things. So, we alluded a little bit at the beginning to our branded fares, which is a whole new way of selling Kalula inventory, and it's fly the way you want to fly. We've done an API with a easy shuttle service, so that gives additional options for transport when you land. We've got a brand new app that launches next week. And then following shortly after that is going to be a brand new website for Kalula Holidays that's going to have incredible content. It's going to have a fantastic user experience. And we're very excited, how easy it is to use that site and all the people lining up to add content on this site. So certainly is something we want to pursue in the future, and we want to become better and stronger at it. So that part of our business is going to get a lot of focus going forward.
Okay, I'm sure we're excited to see the lineup of destinations.
Yes.
Vaccine passports. So this is something that's becoming critical for international travel, but what's happening on the domestic front? Are South Africans going to need one to fly locally? And is it something you're discussing? What's happening in other markets?
I don't think it's something that is going to be mandatory and required, because that'd be something that's very difficult to enforce. And from a regulatory side, we're not there to be the policeman, but we certainly encourage everybody to get vaccinated. And I think what you'll see that the trends, Qantas, for instance, have got a price benefit and a mileage reward to anybody who books. I think they get something like 10,000 additional miles every time they make a booking. That is something we would like to incentivize the market to get vaccinated, and we'll probably have some price point campaigns for fully vaccinated people. And I think that's doing our part to rebuild the industry and to get as many people vaccinated as possible. I know there is talk from IATA to have this vaccine passport, and I think that'll be incredibly useful for international travelers. I think the pain around getting a PCR test, and where that's not always freely available, I think a vaccine passport for a fully vaccinated person will ease the pain and the logistics of getting onto an aircraft. And that's what we need. We want to encourage tourism. We want to encourage people to get here. And if they need to produce a document that says, hey, I've done this and I've been vaccinated, we would support that. But as I said, I can't see it being mandatory, but it's certainly something that I believe not only the airlines, but everybody in the travel sector should encourage and encourage quite aggressively. Okay.
Brian, thanks for joining us, and all the best for the restart.
Well, thank you so much. We're very excited to get back in the air, back where we belong. And I look forward to seeing you and the rest of our viewers on board very soon.